Now, another one. World opens up this letter quite a bit. That's another theme that keeps cropping up. Friendship with the world is enmity with God. Let's be in no doubt a bit about this. You can't be popular with the world and with God. Jesus wasn't, and if he couldn't manage it, you won't. In fact, the more godly you are, the less popular you're likely to be. Paul actually said to Timothy, whoever would live a godly life in Christ Jesus will suffer persecution. They may respect you, but they'll try and knock it out of you. You'll be laughed at. But it's so easy to flirt with the world. And James says pure religion and undefiled before God is two things: to keep yourself unspotted or untainted from the world, and to visit widows and orphans in their distress. How practical that is, to help those most in need, to be alongside people, but not to be infected, not to be tainted. We've got to be in the world but not of it. Jesus didn't want us to go into monasteries and convents. He didn't want us to get out of the world. But you know, it's amazing how many Christians want to do that. A girl came to me once, she said, "Isn't it wonderful, David?" She said, "I was the only Christian where I worked, but," she said, "I saw an advertisement in a Christian magazine, and it's a Christian firm, and they want a secretary, and everybody in the firm's a Christian. And," she said, "I'm going to be working just with Christians." And then she saw my face. She said, "What's the matter?" Well, I said, "First, you won't find working with Christians the promised land. You will very quickly find, you know, to dwell above with saints I love, that'll be glory. To dwell below with saints I know, that's another story." And I said, "First, you won't find that it's the promised land." But I said, "Secondly, you just said you were the only Christian where you worked. The only link they had with Jesus. And now you've broken it. Why didn't you stay there and pray that God would send you a Christian friend?" See? My friend Peter Betson in Australia, I'm sure you've heard me mention him more than once, and you've met him. The honest used car dealer, everybody calls him. Now, he has 40 staff who are out on the roads buying cars for him to sell. He sells to the trade. And he sells a car every 50 seconds on Tuesdays and Thursdays. He's quite a guy, or he did. He's now out of that business. But anyway, what was I going to tell you about him? Yes, as soon as any member of his staff becomes a Christian, he sacks them. And he finds them a job somewhere else. On the principle, as he says, how can I be a witness at work if I'm surrounded by Christians? Boy, there's a bit of thinking for you. I find Christians want to get into Christian firms or buy a farm in the country and go and milk cows and sing choruses till the bus comes by. You know? Listen, Jesus said, "Father, I don't ask that you take them out of the world, but that you'll keep them in the world." See? And James is saying this. This is a very delicate balance. We've got to be right there in the world, but untainted. The infection